episode 303. UFO Buster Radio, UFO news, and it's a little late. It is what it is. I came across some articles, and one of them is a follow-up to what I talked about yesterday during the Thursday freakout, which was fairly successful. No, we didn't have a lot of people show up, in the live chat. But I can say this much from the data, not the guy from Star Trek, that there were a lot of people listening. I guess people like things being scheduled, which is weird to me. Because I moved on to the serial situation, to the every Saturday or every Friday or Thursday, I'm going to watch Friends, to I'm going to get on Netflix and I'm going to binge the shit out of this series until I finish it in one fucking day, in one sitting. That's what I feel like many of the listeners to podcasts, that's the way they are. But apparently not. People actually were looking forward to sitting down and listening to the Thursday freakout. Folks showed up quite a bit in many places across the landscape of the planet we call Earth. It's really surprising to me. So, folks, peoples, followers, subscribers, likers, and then some, the Thursday freakout ends on Thanksgiving Day. I ain't even planned that shit out right? Because I'm actually going to be podcasting on a fucking holiday. Yeah, the Thursday freakout will happen Thanksgiving night. The final one for November. Which is pretty bad because if you think about it, most people are not going to be podcasting or listening to a podcast on a holiday like November, Thanksgiving, where I don't know. Maybe some of you might give thanks to the fact that you're listening to UFO Buster Radio, that I am going to step away from the holiday madness to say, hey, I'm here. I appreciate you guys. Somebody listen to me on Thanksgiving, because otherwise this whole thing is a big fuck up. But I can say this much. It is positive news. It makes sense that folks are going to schedule their time around the fact that a particular thing, podcast, episode, whatever it is, series that they're interested in is going to air at a certain time on a certain day of the week. And really, if we go into December, Thursdays, 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, basically is what it's going to be. So much easier for me. So much. Now, December. December is, it's coming in quick. It's coming in quick. And it looks like I'm going to try my best to wrangle up some people to interview, to have on here for you guys to listen to and dissect what they're saying, because that really is what people do. And I do it myself. I'm not going to lie. I will listen to some other podcast and say, really? That's what you're going with? No, you're fucked up in the head. That is absolutely not true. And I hit the buzzard sound. Not true. Get the hell off my damn headphones. You suck. The podcast for today, like I said, we have a follow-up today regarding the insect situation on Mars. And we have a new superstar, a brand new super duper star when it comes to the space game. Commercialization of the space game. Sorry, Elon, but you screwed the pooch on this. And not because you rolled out a retarded ass looking fucking Cybertruck the other day, like 2 days ago or yesterday. I don't know what the fuck it was. But because you let people in Boca Chica blow your star shit up. Did I say star shit? It's Friday. It could be exactly what I said. Star shit. Your star shit got blown the fuck up because you were not paying mind to what they were doing. That's my honest opinion about it. I mean, come on. I did not see the Starhopper blow up when they were pressure testing the thing, and wow, the Starship blows the fuck up like it's nothing. Nothing. This is UFO Buster Radio, episode number 303. Please follow the podcast whenever you can, and if you feel like it's something that you're going to continue to come back to, though you don't want to tell your family about it, please share it. Tell your neighbor, tell the person on the other cubicle next to you that stares at you when you're not looking that you're listening to UFO Buster Radio. It's not a violation of human rights. No, it's not. It's an exploration of non-human rights and their ability to probe or not probe. But go ahead and spread the word, because that is exactly what we need. So let's go ahead and play a little track for you guys, because you've listened to me enough. Check this out. You guys have got to take a look at the image for this episode number 303. And those are side-by-side images of the Starliner and also the SpaceX Dragon crew. Very similar. The thing is that the Starliner is, it just looks huge, right? It looks a lot bigger than the Dragon crew. But the Dragon crew looks like so, I don't know, just so modern. So great. And the fucking Starliner looks like a big ass cupcake that we're going to drop out of space on somebody's fucking head. Turns out that what they call the CST-100 Starliner is actually being rolled out to the launch pad for takeoff in December. Yeah, December 17th is the day that it is scheduled for the Starliner to take off on top of an Atlas V rocket. And this is being handled by the United Launch Alliance. And you know what? I mean, more power to them. They've actually been able to show that the hair may not necessarily be all that it's cracked up to be, right? Because the tortoise, which in this case would be Boeing and their Starliner, they've been lurking in the back, in the darkness, tinkering away, getting their Starliner together, while SpaceX, they're showing off. They're like blowing shit up. I don't even think that was on purpose. I don't think the reason why they blew that up was because they were trying to show anybody anything other than that, the fact that they fucked up. They fucked up, and it's going to cost them about 3 to 4 months. You can't write that shit. And unfortunately, that puts the focus on the other commercial enterprise that was contracted to help NASA get into fucking space. And that's Boeing and their big ass fucking Starliner. I don't know. I think that things that are usually a bit more sleeker, faster, and get you where you need to be in 4.24 seconds, usually the way to go. I'm just saying. So we'll see December 17th if this Starliner is going to meet the rigors of launch and docking with the ISS space station, because really that's where it's going. It's got to show that it can deliver people to the space station and bring back ship from the space station if it needs to. The Crew Dragon did that in March. So yeah, again, tortoise and hare. Why it really might appear that Boeing is a little bit behind. I have a feeling that they're using SpaceX as a way to test what they're doing internally and improving upon it, right? Because otherwise, they would barrel forward. I mean, it's Boeing. Come on. How many secret spacecrafts have they worked on the past? How many times in the past did they get into these secret government contracts because of what they can build, what they know, and having a team of researchers to help them obtain the final result successfully? Well, thanks to SpaceX, they don't even got to worry about that. They are who they are. And right now, December 17th, which was around the time that we figured the Starship Mark 1 from Boca Chica, Texas will be taken off, we know that shit's not going nowhere. Nope. Some Star Trooper came in and put a hole in R2-D2. And C-3PO, also known as the Mark 1 Starship. Now, the funny thing about this, and this is interesting because it kind of makes you wonder, when you look back at the last couple of weeks where NASA called out SpaceX for taking their fucking damn time and fucking around with the Starship when they still needed to do some testing on the Crew Dragon, which they eventually did, and NASA was on hand to congratulate the team and also kind of demonstrate or put forward or make look like asses the two astronauts that are signed up to go where other people claim to have gone before. And these are the guys that are going to be riding in the Crew Dragon when it actually happens. And at the time, they were really pissed off because they felt that deliverables were not being met regarding the Crew Dragon. And you've seen recently the Crew Dragon was fired up to show its ability to maneuver in space, but also in the event that passengers or scientists on the space platform have emergencies, that the Crew Dragon will be able to function accordingly and make it back where it needs to be. Now, for some reason, they had this freak explosion on the Starship Mark 1, and yeah, we're looking at 4 months or so. But that didn't stop Elon from rolling out one of the ugliest fucking pickup trucks I've ever seen in my life. Jeez Louise, Elon, really. I know you've been inside of a bunch of Maybachs. Stop fucking around. Give us something that we feel is pertinent to human function, reliability, and pride. That we can take pride in the fact that we shelled up $40,000+ on the freakiest looking Cybertruck on the planet. Bananas. Just crazy. One of the problems that I see arising here in the future is that the article, which is linked in the description, actually states that Boeing Starliner, it's way more expensive than SpaceX. Well, like I said yesterday, SpaceX put these rockets and the other equipment that they're going to be one day sending into low orbit space. Yeah, a lot of it looks like it's kind of put together with bubble gum, wax, and all other things other than what it should be. They really, I swear to God, when you go up to it, it looks like there are so many seams that are not closed in any of that equipment. But who are we to judge? We're just blue-collar individuals listening to the bullshit. What NASA is saying in a report that was released by the Office of Inspector General, it says that Boeing Starliner is incredibly expensive. And the report is stating that one seat on a Starliner will cost $90 million. But that's crazy. That's nuts. $90 million. And I guarantee you that if you live by a SpaceX office or building or whatever it is, I guarantee you that money that SpaceX found will not address your illness in any single way whatsoever. Unless you just go rogue and just do your own thing. And that's possible. You can do whatever you want. But the competition is fierce between Boeing and SpaceX. Who do you have your money on? Who is it that you want to bring home the ISS occupants and whatever experiments they're running? My money is still on SpaceX, but as of lately, it appears that Elon Musk is a bit distracted. Not sure what he's distracted about. But he might just lose SpaceX's ability to become a really significant part of the functional operations of the ISS. Which really, I believe, SpaceX needs to stay focused on that. Can show us what alien life looks like when you give two fucks. You know, there's something about the term that I learned a while back, just, living in the Bronx and New York City. Is sometimes you come across this term a lot, day by day, with the people that you interact with. And you see it in movies all the time. There is basically no honor among thieves. The article today, brought to you by Space.com, is it's still not aliens. Mars bug claim could damage the search for alien life. Who really? How could that happen? How in the world could someone saying that they see bugs everywhere like a fucking Tootsie Roll commercial from back in the day, how could that ruin or damage the search for alien life? Makes no sense. Yesterday we talked about the Ohio scientist, right? That likes to look through NASA images. What would happen to the world if people would stop looking at fucking NASA images? Can you guys, for about 3 weeks, don't look at any more NASA images, turn your head away, unsubscribe, do whatever. The NASA images are absolutely great and fantastic, but at the spur of the moment, it's not going to help you. Not one bit. And I promise you, you will sit around for like 30, 40 minutes and still come up to zero conclusion. Because shit's not going to just jump out at you. But unfortunately, because there are no honor among thieves, another scientist claims that our boy, William Ramusser, who claims that in NASA pictures there's evidence of bugs rolling around, that he will get probed in the worst fucking way. He will get probed without the grease, probably several times a day. When he returns back to the University of Ohio, he might even not even go back. Listen, Will. I'm sure your name is Will. Don't go back. Just cut your losses right now. You can go to like Hawaii or some shit like that where no one gives a fuck and they try not to have any crime. Go to Hawaii. Jizz it up if you need to, but don't come back to the other side claiming that you didn't have enough vacation time. Because you know the folks in Hawaii, they like to find alien rocks. You can go down there and look to see if there's any bugs on those, William. Because your fellow science people do not give a damn about you in any way, specifically someone named David Madison. David Madison is a professor in the integrative biology department at Oregon State University. And he says that what our buddy William saw was nothing but 100% pareidolia. Come on, we've been saying this shit for a long time. But to be honest, how the fuck do you catch pareidolia if you're not actually looking to the sky? Where's your pareidolia? Yeah, where is it? Our new individual, Madison, he told Space.com in an email that he's worked with beetles for decades. He has collected many of thousands of beetles around the world, though the years have been built into his brain in the form of a pattern, thousands of systems for picking out beetles. So my next question is, David Madison, do you need like a collar around your freaking neck? Does your family need to be like set aside and all that dust or powder go into their skin to help them out? I don't know what it is, but there's a significant gap here, because you would think that the individual who just got into our society or whatever you might call it, that they would be sharp enough to leave the stove and what's cooking as it is and just crack it on the side. Get yourself somewhere else to put that shit on. Stop fucking around. What does the professor do at this point when this guy named Madison, David Madison, is out pretty much going up against, the likes of Ronnie Dawson and his spouse and family? How do you bridge that gap? I don't even think you can. Anyway, our professor from Oregon State says that he personally pretty much has pareidolia. With respect to insects, beetles in particular, Madison told Space.com in an interview, "I've worked on beetles for decades. I have never collected Madison because she basically feels like there's bugs somewhere." But a lot of what Ramusser is seeing, according to Madison, is straight up pareidolia. Madison says that they've experienced pareidolia personally because of the decades of work examining beetles. Big O and I, we kind of addressed that, right? I mean, I know we did it joking around. We talked about dildos and stuff, but still, same thing. If you spend 2-3 decades working in the same area, looking at the same things, you might just see shit just in some ordinary circumstances become fucking beetles. Or whatever it is that you're doing. I'm not really sure. But Madison goes on to say, I do not think there are insects on Mars. The photographers and the photographs that are in the press release are entirely unconvincing, as they fall within a range expected by zillions of non-instant objects photographed in low resolution on a Marscape. Madison also concluded it is vastly more parsimonious to presume that blobs are simply rocks. As has been said, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Those pictures are far, far less than extraordinary. Well, if you're a blue-collar person and somebody sends you a picture of Mars and there's a fucking yellow jacket on it, that becomes extraordinary. That becomes amazing. I've seen one of the pictures that Rosimer submitted to the yesterday's article. It fucking looks like a damn insect. But at the end of the day, Will, you are way too fucking far to be making those determinations. And that is the pitfall of science. That really is. You usually do not have enough people to evaluate things, kind of break them down, and really see what's going on. And it's sad. It really is. Sorry about that. Bugs is in the way. It feels like we could do a lot better, but we'll see what happens. There is a war in science. No honor among thieves. They're fighting each other. But we have to let those that believe in what's happening in ufology, let them come forward, because what the fuck else are they going to do? I forgot to mention to you guys that Guter was actually in the chat box, and we've been chatting back and forth. Good to have you in the chat box. For those of you who don't know it, if you're on Spreaker.com, look for UFO Buster Radio, and when I'm live, you'll get a notification. And you don't even have to listen to podcasts, just chime in, send something, get on the chat box, say whatever the fuck you want. I really don't care, especially if it's a Thursday freakout. Go for it. Today I had a bunch of messages on the podcast number, the 972-290-1329, but it was all music. Still, someone's like calling and dedicating music to me, and I have no idea who you are. Yes, strangely enough, I do not. While I appreciate it, why don't you leave a few words and let us know what's rubber dicking you in the mind enough to just call and leave messages. No doubt, in recapping this, that there is definitely a commercial space race going on, besides the fact that NASA is hard up for cash and is tired of paying millions of dollars to the Russians to launch it up to the ISS. I believe that 1,000,000%. Nobody needs a damn ISS. Nobody needs the Russian help in getting to space. But when that's all that's available, you gotta do as the Romans do. Drink yourself some Ruski vodka and get the fuck off the planet. Until somebody builds a nice cheaper way for you to get the fuck back down. Nothing you can do about that. And in the other case, I've been pointing out that not Russian, but scientists are coming out a lot out of the woodwork because a lot of things that have been happening lately. Most of the time, it's more positive than negative. In this particular article, it's a lot negative. It's like the negative side of having a fucked up joke and you going to sleep with your nasty ass clothing on, and you're attracting all kind of shit. But how does that turn dark? Check out the link that I posted on Twitter's and on the Instagrams and Twitters, and Facebook is the other place. Facebook, I didn't put it in UBR Group Seekers, but if you go to the Facebook page, UFO Buster Radio Network, you'll find it on there. But it's fascinating to me how people who talk about this subject, they flip-flop a lot, especially when they are younger and they have younger pets and children, I'm sure. But they flip-flop a lot. But there's a reason for the flip-flop. No one is sure of what to do. Believe in deep space. Believe in the fact that we have more than just single-celled amoebas running around in the rest of the planet. That's really hardcore for anyone to believe, I would think. I think it's cool because these rocks helped me save a trip to the damn gas station. This is UFO Buster Radio. I am Manny Moonraker. This is a short one for Friday because I figure you guys need time to really, get your glow sticks together and go out there and meet somebody and talk about stuff here and there. I'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully there's better stories tomorrow. Things that will make you go scared to be probed. Because at the end of the day, that is probably the last thing you want to do, and to have any remnants at that end of the situation. I appreciate you guys for listening. I'm going to do my best to make sure that I get in every day up until Thanksgiving. But here's the thing for you. If you listen on Spreaker, Stitcher, or anywhere else, send me an email with whatever songs you want to listen to on Thanksgiving Day. That could be a fun challenge for me to make that work. I appreciate you. You guys have a good evening. And ciao.
Give me something good. I get wasted on the thought of you. Head is spinning, I can't move. Smoky eyes. you're still with me all the time.